You don't step foot in Victoria in 10 years? You just show up in the middle of my homicide investigation?
I'm writing a book. People will tell me things they're not going to tell you.
Girls are always missing.
Big girls is what the cops call us. Like the lighters.
Why do they call you that?
Because we're disposable.
Obviously, Under the Bridge is a book that exists, but now you're playing Riley, the character that is based on the author. And, you know, Lily, you're playing a character that, from my understanding, doesn't exist in the book. So I guess what was it like building that relationship and incorporating it into the pre-existing context of Under the Bridge as a story?
I think because there was such a for my character anyway, there was such a so much about Rebecca. I was lucky in that I had a lot of resources I had poems she wrote and videos and photos and all these things to sort of get a sense of who she was. But I think also when you're playing a real person, you do feel a little sense of responsibility to, you know, do them justice, especially with these circumstances and her having passed a few weeks before, after I'd signed on. And then, you know, I'll let you speak to your...
Yeah, I mean, playing a fictionalized character in a real story like this, you know that you're there to have an allegorical conversation. And I think the device of Cam and Rebecca having this history, having this relationship, is a way to bring two entities that were very much at play during the Rena Vert case, the trial, all of the aftermath. This perspective of law enforcement and the system of law enforcement, and then this, you know, this body of like the journalistic, the novelist, the storytelling approach to something that's real and happening to real people. And I mean, really, you look at a lot of times law enforcement points at journalism as if it's like a thorn in its side, and then vice versa. So that getting to play out in like a character dynamic and a relationship was a way of having those conversations. And then ultimately what I love about these characters' relationship is they're individuals with a very human experience that kind of overrides and steers the ship of the institutions or the entities they represent. And ultimately, the way our ships are kind of steered, it clears the way for the audience to really focus on where the heart of the story should be, where the heart of true crime, I think, should be, and often is not, on the victims, on the family, on the people that it happened to, humanizing them as people who are experiencing this horrific thing. And maybe, like, in doing it this way and having our characters represented in this relationship, it's a way to kind of self-indict society's fascination with true crime. And I think when we sensationalize it and we over-focus on the perpetrator and grant them almost celebrity status, we're ignoring the chance to have real conversations about how do we avoid things like this as a pluralistic, multicultural society that marginalizes some and makes some more vulnerable to be victims of crimes like this, and penalizes some more heavily than others. If we don't have those major systems conversations, if we don't have a little bit of a self-indicting talk with ourselves, then things like this are going to keep happening, and they do.